Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Flagler Weather Info's week weather. Look at the weather ahead this week. That's what I was trying to say. So we're starting off with satellite imagery here, and all these bright colors represent thunderstorms, and there were some pretty raging storms that went across the state of Florida, and all the cloud that we're seeing here is basically the high cloud blown off the top of those thunderstorms. So note out here, we do have a weather system out here, so what exactly is going on with that? Well, we actually have a tropical system. Before we get to that, quick look at the radar. You can see all those storms, everything moving away. Let's take a look at the tropics right now. We have now tropical depression number 3. Tropical depression number 3 is located several hundred miles to our east-northeast. It has got sustained winds of about 35 miles per hour, moving northward at about 2 miles per hour. It's going to kind of wander around out here for a little bit before eventually taking what the forecasters think a northwest path that'll take it towards South Carolina. Now, just one thing to remember while we're talking about tropical systems is when you see this cone, it just means that the system could go anywhere in the cone, the center of it rather, can go anywhere in the cone. The weather can be quite a bit further out from the cone. So right now the Tropical Storm Watch is in place for most of South Carolina's coastline, for the exception of points to the very southwest. This system may become a tropical storm by tomorrow. It'll become Chantal and then move ashore with some pretty squally winds as it makes its approach to South Carolina. As far as Flagler County is concerned, no problems for us. It could possibly kick up the surf, increase the rip currents along our beaches. That's a possibility. So just to take a little bit closer look, where are the effects going to be? Now, this is a good map to always look at when you go into the National Hurricane Center website. This gives us the probabilities of wind. And so, again, the cone just tells you where the center of the storm is going to go. This tells you where the winds are going to go. And right now, the highest chances is basically about a 40 to 50% chance of getting sustained winds over 39 miles per hour is this region right here. So the other chances are not really that high right at this point. So this is like 5 to 10% chance of seeing those gale force winds. And then right here, this is where your highest chances are, about 30 to 40% chance of sustained tropical storm force winds in this area. So as this system moves, we'll probably see these numbers change in the days ahead. Now, there are no hurricane force wind risks because this is a weak storm. That's a good thing. And again, it's not going to be a problem for us here in Flagler County. So this will be moving away. Again, this is where your highest chances of tropical storm force winds are. Taking a look at expected rainfalls, again, all staying well away from us, maybe a few inches into South and North Carolina. So talking about the tropics, let's go back and talk about the tropics elsewhere. So we do have tropical depression number 3 out there, and that is the only game in town. Looking at this is the 7-day tropical outlook. We're not expecting any other developments, or we don't have any other issues going on other than this system right here. Taking the long range look, this takes us all the way to July 22nd. We don't see any other development potential in the Atlantic Basin right now. Occasionally something can spin up, but the likelihood of it is pretty slim at this point in time. So let's talk about our local weather and how things are shaping up. Of course, we got real lucky with the rain today, 4th of July and all that stuff and everything. So there was a pretty good chance of rain today, and some places did indeed see it, but it didn't last long. So for tonight, we're looking at generally about a 40% chance of showers. Well, why is that? Let's take a look at the radar. There are some coastal showers out here that might try to blow in during those overnight hours with the flow coming in from the northeast, and that's what pushed those storms away from us. So we do have that chance of that happening on those late night hours. So that's why we do have, and whoops, I just clicked my window out, but we can bring it right back here. So that's why we do have that chance of rain lingering overnight. Now for tomorrow, pretty good chance of showers and storms. Again, right now, flow is expected to be out of the north, moving to the south. So most likely the best chances of showers and thunderstorms will be in the south and west parts of the county. Coastal areas, even though there is a 60 to 70% chance of showers or storms there, you might get a few showers and storms to pick up like right along the sea breeze, but the big stuff, if there's any of it, will be more to the south and west. And again, tomorrow night, we see very minimal chances of rain. And then as we go into Monday, those chances start to come down. About a 50% chance coastal areas, maybe 60 to 65% chance inland. And then as we go into Monday night, it's looking dry. So it looks like just on the daytime is when we're expecting those showers and storms. It looks like they'll be trending more inland. We've seen the lesser rain chances, not off the hook on the beaches, but about a 50% chance coast and maybe 60% chance inland as we get to Tuesday. And then as we get to Wednesday, kind of about the same there. We don't see any big changes in the rainfall chances. Maybe coming back up a little bit towards the end of the week, maybe as we get towards Friday. That's the way that's looking right now. Now, let's talk about rainfall amounts, what's expected for the next 7 days. Really not a big deal. So you can see the best chances of heavier rain further inland, beaches maybe up to an inch, and 1 to 1.5 inches elsewhere. Again, this is for 7 days. So 7-day rainfall of 1 to 1.5 inches of rain for us is actually a little bit below normal. That's not really a big deal for us at all. So let's talk about the temperatures now and what we're expecting. Tonight, low temperatures generally in the 70s, lower 70s inland, mid 70s beaches. As we go through the next several nights, we can expect generally the same temperatures overnight. And then as we go for tomorrow, high temperatures, generally 85 beaches, 90 inland. And as we get into Monday, kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit warmer. But as we get into Tuesday now, temperatures get hotter, mid 90s inland, upper 80s to near 90 beaches. And then as we get into Wednesday, things are fairly warm, lower to mid 90s inland, 80s immediate beaches. And then further on, it looks like we stay kind of the same as we go through the rest of the week. Now, take a look at heat index numbers. How's that looking? Excuse me. So we're looking at generally heat index numbers maybe peaking out at about 101, 102 degrees each day. Get a little bit of water there. But we're not seeing any big changes in that. So it's going to warm up a little bit, but not significantly so for the next several days here in Flagler County. Going a little bit beyond that, let's talk about further into the future. As we go into from July 10 to July 14, look for above normal temperatures on the average. And look for maybe just a smidge above normal precipitation. As we go further into the future, taking us to July 18th, and we're looking at above normal temperatures for the area, and maybe just a smidge above normal precipitation, and just very slight chance of that. Looking at our fire danger and all that stuff, we're not in too bad a shape right now. We're taking a look at our drought index numbers. We're actually in pretty good shape here. The driest locations down here in southeast Florida, down here in SoFlo, but we're not in bad shape across the area. So to wrap things up, it's summertime, folks. Expect the afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms each day. I think, though, the bigger ones will be trending inland as we go through the week ahead. Now, as the wind patterns, if they shift around a little bit and start pushing the storms back to the East Coast, then we might see those rain chances increase. But it's looking like pretty much normal what to expect. And this tropical cyclone that's out here over that's off to our east, that really, other than maybe some higher surf, maybe a few bands of showers that come in, that should not be a factor in our weather. It's going to wobble around out here a little bit before eventually moving off to the northwest towards the Carolinas. That's going to wrap it up. Everybody out there, enjoy your 4th of July, what's left of it. Enjoy the week ahead and the weekend. And we will be here to give you updates. Have a great evening.